And we are live on the United Public Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM New Orleans and 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. How cool is that? And we are being live streamed wherever podcasts live. My YouTube channel, um, uprntalkradio.com, wherever podcasts live. So we're not hard to find. To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is Father Shawn's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Father Shawn Whittington. I'm an ordained Catholic priest with the United States Old Catholic Church. I'm a fully professed brother with the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary. I'm a team member with Society of St. Benedict and co-founder of ghostbegone.biz. If you want to know anything about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. You'll find a lot of cool things there. Both my books are there. If you buy the books off of Amazon, they come available in an audio version, which is awesome, but they're also a little less expensive. If you buy them off of the website, I autograph them and they arrive to you in a beautiful house blessing kit. You never know when one of those are going to come in handy. And another great thing about that is that part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my books off of the website go to support stjude.org and the ASPCA. So you get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. How cool is that? My online course is there, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare. It's a 12-week online college level course for all you true warriors for Christ out there. And you can enroll in it right there at the website. Or reach out to me and talk to me if you want to learn more about the course before making that type of commitment. But all my students that graduate get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed items that you can only get from yours truly. What else is there? There's a place on the website where you can make an appointment to speak with me about your spiritual issues. Most importantly, brothers and sisters, keep in mind that my wife and I, we don't charge for our ministry work, helping people with their paranormal issues. So if you're there visiting and you notice the donate button, trust me, I know times are tough. But if you're able to do so, click on it and send my ministry in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we'll put it to good use. Today, I love this show today. It comes around once a month. It's at the very beginning of the month, and it's a little thing here we call First Fridays with Father Shawn and Annette. And it's the day where you all out there that live stream the show and have access to the chat rooms, the live chats, you get a chance to put Annette's feet to the fire. She loves it when I say that. And rake old Father Shawn over the coals on any topic. No topic is off the tables. Paranormal, supernatural, spiritual, religious, not political. I don't like the political stuff. I'm tired of all that. Aren't you guys tired of all that? Let's get above that. Move on. Um, so there you have it. And having said that, I am going to bring out my very special co-host. I've known her forever. It feels like I've known her forever. I love her. I respect her. She's super cool. She's a lifelong paranormal experiencer. She's the owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. Please welcome to the show the one and only Annette Munich.
Hi, Father Shawn. Hi, everybody. Really happy to be here. Got a little cloudy, chilly, rainy day here by Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're supposed to be flooding, but that's just, stuff to look forward to for Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're okay. You look very pretty today. I'm glad you're okay because
Thank you.
I just heard about these horrendous stories of all the really bad weather throughout the Midwest and a little further east. Just really, really rough.
Really rough. Scary.
Yeah, it is scary. This is really scary. I always, I'll be honest. I have this fantasy to one day, hunt tornadoes. Why, I don't know. I
You
remember,
want to hunt tornadoes?
you
You
know,
want to be that guy? I want to tell you something. This morning, my son-in-law looked out and saw one of those storm chasers go by, and it made us all scared to death. You don't want to see those guys because then uh-oh.
well, I have not talked to one person who's actually seen a tornado, been up close and personal with one, that I say that to, that hasn't said, no, you don't. So I know deep down inside I don't. But, you
I
know,
lived in Joplin when Joplin got hit,
oh, wow.
but I wasn't there that day. But that I don't take tornado warnings lightly. I've got my stuff and I'm ready for the apocalypse. If there's a tornado siren, I'm ready. That was so bad. I would say that changed my life. Very, very grateful to God. I was not in town that day, and neither were my daughters. Now, if you got a minute to hear this,
Yeah.
my son in law, the one that I just talked about, he was in town and he was working. And they transferred him that morning from one store to another. If he would have stayed at the store he normally worked at, everybody in there died.
Wow.
Everyone.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that's kind of, miraculous that that morning they decided to move him. Well, that Joplin tornado was a mile wide and 8 miles long, and it was rain wrapped, and it made so much noise with the hail that a lot of people didn't hear the sirens going off. That there was a tornado and it went right through the business district. And one of the churches that we went to, not our main church, but it was St. Teresa's, and it had this enormous cross outside, and that's all that was left of it. And when you looked in that direction, you never used to be able to see the church and the cross because there was a neighborhood in between. But when you looked in that direction, all you could see was that cross.
Wow.
Everything was twisted trees and rubble. And another miracle was, I got a lot to say about this if you got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Another miracle was we had two hospitals that were pretty close together. And by the grace of God, one hospital was untouched and the other hospital was hit. They even had like the helicopter was down on its side in front of the hospital with all the bent blades. Um, I have more to say about this. So, this story emerged about the butterfly people, and that was little kids saying that they saw butterfly people coming out of the sky and helping them and helping others, which of course we would say are angels. But they had enough little kids saying that did not know each other, that it became quite the sensational story. And there's a big mural now in Joplin of the butterfly people.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. I hadn't, I want to say that story sounds very familiar, but I can't remember for sure if I heard that story. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's a great story. I'm going to look into that and read more about that. That's amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure those, those kids are not lying. They're
right.
not making that up. That happened. Um, it's like when I was a very young kid, too young to remember. My father was born and raised in the Bonita Wyandotte area in Oklahoma, and
Which
we
is
went.
not that far from here. I could probably be there within an hour and a half.
We when I very young, we went back to visit my father's father. His mother died when he was very young, but we went back to visit his father's father. Like I said, I was too young to remember, but apparently a tornado came through there when we were there visiting, and we all went into the basement, I guess, or or a storm shelter that they had built, I guess. I don't know.
And
But
most people around here don't have basements, so that's really bad.
that's weird.
Just because of the kind of earth that we're sitting upon. But people would really need a basement here in Illinois. Just about everybody has a basement. Thank you, Linda. But not here. And we don't have one either. But we do have an outdoor shelter. Um, we haven't opened it for a while, so I make a joke about that, that I have to be really afraid that this is the end for me to go down there, because God knows what's down there. There's snakes and all kinds of stuff down
It's
there.
better. It's better than dying, though.
Right, but I'd be kind of like, oh,
Well, the interesting thing about this story, maybe this is where the seed got planted in me to want to be a storm chaser, was apparently the tornado came through that neighborhood, and like the house on one side of the house I was in was demolished, and then the tornado hopped right over the house I was in and then hit the next house and moved on. And I always found that amazing how they tend to hop around like that.
right.
And you can have whole neighborhoods just like an atomic bomb went off, but you have one house in the middle of that still standing. Just crazy.
The first tornado I really had seen the devastation of was by my grandma's house in Ohio, and trying to think of the name of the little town. But this is in the Springfield, Dayton, Columbus area. We drove through there. If a tornado's not that wide, it can skip around. Some of the houses were just nothing but bathtubs and fireplaces. And then other ones, like you said, it seemed like it was fine or minimal damage, not so much of a rhyme or reason to it. But that was when I was pretty young. We have them in Illinois too, but that's the first one I really saw the damage up close, and it's scary. The Joplin thing was very scary. The I don't even know to this very day if it's kind of back to where it doesn't look like a tornado hit there. Um, yeah, so much got destroyed. 150 people died.
Yeah,
That was one of the biggest tornadoes we've had in modern history. And it was really bad because there was a high school there that they were having their graduation. Um, and stories about, this one boy in particular. I don't know if I should continue. I'll just scare everybody.
I think uh, some people love these kinds of stories. Some people don't, especially if they have you clearly know that some divine intervention took place. Um,
I love
and
the butterfly people part. That's clearly angels. That's little kids, 3, 4, and 5, trying to describe um, something angelic, I believe. But this one little boy that said he saw them, he and his mom went into the closet. When they opened the closet door to come out, all that was left of their house was pretty much the closet. They were standing outside.
it's like I don't remember. Maybe somebody out there watching or listening knows this story. I distinctly remember the story of one baby who was the mother was holding on to a tree. I think the house blew up. She got to a tree, was hanging onto the tree and holding her newborn child, and she just couldn't hold any longer, and the tornado ripped the child out of her arms. Um, she, I don't know if she died or not, but they ended up finding that baby like 5 miles, something crazy like that, down the road, laying in a ditch, totally unharmed.
Wow,
That's crazy.
that's crazy,
That's God.
right?
Yeah, I'll have to research that too. Now you've planted the seed in me. The butterfly people
The
and
butterfly people.
the baby that survived when the whole family and his home was destroyed and got picked up and sit down somewhere very nicely. That's crazy. That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I told people at the beginning of the show if they wanted to. I know you love it when I invite people to put your feet to the fire and to
we're
raise
not fond of
on
the
Father
future of
Shawn and
fire thing,
Nicole.
really, overall.
So everybody knows today. Today's the day. If you wanted to uh, talk about anything you want to talk, like I said, don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared to ask Annette or I something in the chat. No topic is off the table. Lots are going on. I mean, I'm coming up here the 24th through the 27th. Coming up is the United States Old Catholic Church retreat in Illinois. So that's exciting, and everybody's welcome to attend. It's at Todd Hall Retreat Center. Todd Hall, all one word, capital TODDHALL, Retreat Center. All you got to do is arrange your own transportation there and home and pay for your room. The rooms are very reasonably priced. Whether even if you show up by yourself, you get two double beds in your room, your own private bathroom, no TV, no radio. I always bring myself a small radio, but you're out in the middle of God's country, and you'll get to see everybody, all the clergy and parishioners. Not parishioners, there's too many of them, but some of the parishioners will show up. But you'll get to meet all the clergy of the USOCC, all of the Benedictines and members of the Society of Saint Benedict, and we're going to have ordaining two priests to become bishops. We're ordaining a couple of seminarians to become deacons. I know of one Benedictine is going to take her vows, her temporary vows. And what else is going on? We always have like classes and we say mass every day. So there'll be confession, mass, and communion. Um, a movie night probably, but your money that you pay for your room also includes your breakfast, lunch, and dinner the 4 days that you're there at their cafeteria, which they
Nice.
always make wonderful food. But like I said, you're out in God's country. It's beautiful there. Um, so if you're interested in going to the retreat, it's the 24th through the 27th of this month, the week right after Easter, and that's it. That's all I got to say on that. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I don't travel well, but for this, I always look forward to it, and I'm always excited to go, and I have a great time there.
Um,
And
no
but
teasing the big feet.
yeah, you know what? I am going to. I don't. For
A lot
those
of
of you
people
that don't
don't
know the
know what I
story,
mean by that, but you've got a story too.
well, last year when I was at the retreat, I made a joke. Literally, you walk out of the door of my cabin and you walk, you know, 50 yards and you are in.
A forest area.
Yeah. And I just made a joke that, there's got to be Sasquatch out there, Bigfoot. And I talked to them and invited them to come and hang out at the retreat and no one would bother you. Don't, we're all about, love and
Because
light
you're
and
a funny
God.
guy. You're just a funny guy.
And the next morning, I woke up and I brought people over to see it. They had trees that were so big I couldn't put my arms around them and touch my fingers.
Mm.
But this one tree right in front of my cabin was snapped in half. I don't even know what happened to the top of it, but then it was pulled out of the ground, turned upside down, and stuck right back in the ground, right where it came up out of the ground at. And I took that as a sign, me.
Well, it's kind of like how do you say I hear you without saying I hear you?
I took that as a clear sign. Something
Oh
was,
yeah. That's
answering
more
me
than a
back. But
sign.
so that's
That's
my
so we know where you
my.
live, or at least for now, we know where to find you.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
So that's oh yeah, I'm going to be elevated there at the retreat. I'm going to be elevated and ordained the new abbot for the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary, which is going to be a great honor. What were they thinking, deciding on me to be the new abbot? But you don't turn those things down. They're a once in a lifetime, life changing
And do
uh,
we still call
honor.
you Father Sean then?
Yeah, Father Shawn or Abbot Shawn or Abbot Father Shawn. But yeah, I'll be the new abbot. So there you go. And so it's gonna be exciting. I don't like leaving Sharon alone for 4 days. She'll be okay, but I don't like doing that. We couldn't afford to send us both. On that note, I'm really pushing and it's not cheap to get there. I got to pay for my round trip airfare, the uh, cost to be at the retreat, my rental car for 4 days. Not cheap. So I'm trying to push to have the retreat here in Las Vegas next year, which would be awesome. And my idea is I'm currently speaking to two archbishops here in Vegas now, that two different old Catholic churches out here, to have a place, at least a church, where we can, as a group, can meet every day, let's say right after lunch, and do whatever we're going to do for a few hours, have mass, have meetings, ceremonies, what have you. And then when we're done, everybody's in. It's their responsibility to, of course, find a way to get to Vegas and back home. But I'm going to not have everybody localized at a retreat center somewhere. This is Vegas. Many people coming out for the retreat may have not ever been here before. So everybody can stay wherever they can find the best deal on whatever hotel they want to stay at. So at night, they can enjoy just doing the touristy thing here. Um, and so that's going to be a little bit different than us all just being sequestered somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. But it's Vegas. I figured give people that opportunity to, enjoy Vegas a little bit. Um, so I'm pushing for that. And if that happens and we have the retreat out here next year, that'll be much easier for me. And then Sharon can probably go at least, maybe get off early on a Saturday and go to do whatever we're going to be doing that day. And then definitely Sunday she's off, so I can bring her out there to meet everybody, and she can attend mass and stuff. So hopefully that'll happen next year.
Cool. Do you think you're ready to take questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we got Michelle Wilfong.
Hello, Michelle. Any advice for cleansing, shielding, and warding concerning the energy where I live? Well, that's funny because you and I, Michelle, must be psychically connected here. Before the show started, I was talking to a gentleman that sent me a message asking me what's in my house blessing kits. He just bought it. Well, actually, he's got the kit. He bought one of the books, got the kit, didn't know what the items in the kit were, didn't know how to use them. And I, at the same time, was thinking about there's going to be a new kit coming out, which is going to be a little more expensive. Um, but it's the ultimate. It's going to have everything that's in the kit now, but I'm going to add these beautiful abalone shells.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. I have one and I didn't get it from you. I just recently got it last week.
There you go. And I'm going to also add, and this is from some friends at a reservation, an
And
indigenous
what's the
reservation.
purpose of the abalone for the kit?
Well, you hold your sage or your Palo Santo wood over, and it collects the ashes,
Oh,
so
okay.
they're not just dropping down on your
Oh,
floor. Um, and everybody's also going to get a very powerfully blessed smudging feather. Usually, it might be hawk,
It looks like,
I can't send eagle feathers. It's illegal, but there'll be hawk or owl or dove, pheasant, wild turkey, birds of that nature. You'll get a blessed feather, but all the other stuff is in there. All the blessed metals. But right now, currently, my kits have um, blessed sea salt, blessed holy water, blessed anointing oil. There's white sage in there. There's frankincense and myrrh, blessed incense. Um, Palo Santo wood I have in there. Did I mention that? What else is in my kits? Quite a bit of stuff. So I had to go over all of that with them and how to use it. Um, but I'm upgrading my kits, so there's going to be more in them. But and having said that, I know I mentioned blessed oils. Do you want to see the most beautiful gift? Sometimes people send me gifts, and I'm just like don't know what to say. I'm so moved that I don't even know how to say thank you. They know it's heartfelt. They know me. But look at this beautiful gift somebody just sent me. It is Holy Shroud fragrance,
oh,
and it's from Israel. And I'll show everybody this. Comes in a beautiful little bottle with the Holy Shroud image on the glass bottle. Inside this bottle, I wish I had smell-o-vision on this. I've never smelled anything like this before in my life. It is made. It's olive oil made from olives that grew on 2,000 plus year old olive trees from the Garden of Gethsemane right there in Israel.
oh,
And it's burial oil and anointing oil. There's frankincense. There's myrrh in it for sure. I'm not sure about the frankincense, but there's myrrh in there. There's aloes, and it's made exactly to the old ancient Jewish traditions for burial oils, and it's the oils, the type of oil that they bathed Jesus in after he was crucified, before they wrapped him in the shroud. So all that's waiting for me to do is to just lay hands on it, put a special blessing on it, and make it a sacramental so I can bless people with the oil. I'm going to be putting, after I do that, I'm going to be putting a little bit of that oil in my special anointing oil mix that I send everybody in the kits. But that was a long roundabout answer to your question, Michelle. Here's here's my advice.
I have a question for her. I don't know if this makes a difference to you, so it's a good talking point, maybe. I'm wondering if she lives in like an apartment or a condo or in a single family home. Because
Lives.
I found that people that lived in active apartments and condos, it's harder because they don't understand about the units. They're all over the place. So even if you are like keeping them out and driving them out of your unit, have you come across that?
That
She
is
hasn't
so.
answered yet. So,
I have come across that. You got to be very careful. It's like shooting a gun in your apartment, and missing the intended target, which might be if you're that kind of person, and you miss, and it goes through the wall and kills somebody in the other apartment. Got to be very, very careful with that. So we'll see if she answers that. Oh, she says I live in a sixplex. Only
oh,
have a
yeah.
neighbor on one side of me. Very, very cool. Um, my advice, Michelle, is I'm going to keep it simple with you. Just try to bring a lot of love and light in your house. I always tell people, make sure during the day, open up as many curtains and blinds as you can. Always, even if it's really cold or super hot, you should open up a window for about 10, 15 minutes every day. Let a little bad air out and a little fresh air in every day. But if you get my kit, right now my kits are coming out. If you buy one or both of my books, they arrive with a house blessing kit. But the salts that I send, you can sprinkle some on top of your head, but I advise people to sprinkle the blessed salts on the ground at the floor of every door that leads outside. Sprinkle the salt on the inside of the windowsills. And the holy water, I advise people to walk through the house and sprinkle it in the sign of the cross in every single room. And the holy anointing oils, put some, right on your thumb, touch it to your wall, one wall in every room, and actually make a physical cross on the wall. And then of course, people like people are different. Some people I send the sage to are allergic to it and can't use the sage, or they say it sets off my fire alarms. So that's why the Palo Santo wood in there, translation Palo Santo means blessed wood. I bless it anyway, but the translation for that is blessed wood. So some people love the Palo Santo wood. You use it, you light the sticks, blow out the flame, use it the same way you would sage. I don't send out the raw frankincense and myrrh anymore because a lot of people don't have a. If you do have a incense sensor like this, which these small ones are very cool because you can walk around with this little handle and get the incense everywhere. If you don't have an incense sensor, if you do have one, when you order the kit, make sure I know that you do. I'll send you raw blessed frankincense and myrrh that you sprinkle inside. I'll send you a couple of charcoals that you put in there. You light the charcoals on, get them, light them, keep lighting them until they get flaming hot, and you break them up a little bit, and then you sprinkle your raw frankincense and myrrh incense right on the burning the hot coals. But a lot of people don't have a sensor, so I send the frankincense that you sent me has been a godsend. I blessed it all, but they're these little cones.
Right.
I used to send out the sticks, but people would call me up and say, "Got your kit today, and the sticks are broken." You can still use them, but that's a bummer. I don't want to send out people broken incense sticks. These have been a godsend because they're these little, and the reason why I have them out is because I use them all the time, and I'm running low. There's not many left. I'm going to buy some more, but I still have some of these for anybody that wants some blessed incense. I'll still send you some. But here's what they look like, and you can put them in your abalone shell if you want, or a saucer. But they're these little incense cones. They don't break. They're beautiful, and set them on anything and light the tip. And once the flame burns for a few seconds, blow it out. Oh my God, they smell so uh, wonderful. It's just indescribable. I can't adequately put it into words how wonderful they smell. But all of that stuff's in there. So whatever you decide you want to use to smudge your house, whether it be sometimes I throw in sweetgrass, whatever you use out of my kit, get that smoke everywhere throughout the house, everywhere, in every corner, in every cabinet, in every closet, the bathrooms, all the big rooms. Get the smoke everywhere.
Well,
And yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
wondering if she feels like this is a human spirit or if she feels like she's dealing with something worse than that. And also wondering if other people that live there um, experience anything paranormal.
Um,
We'll see if she answers.
Linda says, I get scratched occasionally. I just radiate love and let negative energy know that I'm not intimidated and that I'm here serving God. That's wonderful, Linda. Couldn't have said it better myself, and that's perfect. And Linda and I may be psychically connected right now too, because that's exactly I was going to touch base on. Some people like to say different things. Some people get my kits that aren't overly religious. They believe in higher vibrational power of love and light looking over us, and these much darker, lower vibrational, demonic or malevolent entities that kind of creep around and uh, cause what I like to refer to as parlor tricks in the home. but you got to raise the vibration, and how you do that is love and light. I personally say a lot of special Catholic prayers as I'm going through a house, blessing and cleansing it. But if that's not your thing, you just have to mean it from the heart and tell these things that um, all you allow in here is energy of love and light. You do not allow any lower vibrational, malevolent, or demonic entities to hang around. You're not welcome. You command them to leave. Um, and just if you have to smudge your house every single day until things get noticeably better than you do. I'm a Catholic priest. I say mass in my house every day. Not everybody has that luxury, but even we on a weekly basis smudge, cleanse, and bless my own home. Now Sharon, she's allergic to incense, so now I have to flip the switch there. And she doesn't like if it's too smoky in here. So I got to wait till right when she leaves for work. And I've got from about 5 a.m. till about 4 p.m. to do this. So the earlier the better. I'll use Palo Santo wood in my house because it doesn't tend to get as smoky, and the smoke doesn't tend to just kind of linger around like you're in downtown London um, at night. It doesn't linger like that in your home like some sage and incense smoke does, but I'll use the Palo Santo wood. She doesn't seem to mind that too much. And I have smoke alarms. I've set them off. I just don't get the smoke right under them. I kind of will avoid them if I can and work around the smoke alarms. But it is what it is. And you didn't do anything to invite these. It's random, I mean, I work cases where it's totally random. Nobody knows why. Nobody in the house is doing any conjuring, practicing any black arts. They're not ghost hunters. They don't do seances. They're God fearing, church going folk. They don't live on Indian burial ground. Their house is relatively new, but all of a sudden they've got this guest that they can't see, unwanted guest in the home. And they don't know why it's there, but it's turning their lives upside down and causing some havoc. And and sometimes it's just a disembodied human spirit that's confused and doesn't know it's dead, and how it ended up there. Who knows?
My
But
friend,
you got to get them all to move on. This is not their realm. This is they don't belong. They're not of this age and of this realm anymore. And even if it's just a good intentioned disembodied spirit, a relative that wants to hang around and make sure that you're still doing okay and taking care of the house and wants to watch over you and be another one of your guardian angels, that's great and all, but they got to move on. They got to go to heaven.
my friend Berta's here, so I have to make a heart for her. She hasn't been here for a while because she's been watching her granddaughter. I wonder what Michelle, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep pursuing this. I want to ask if she feels like she's sensitive in any way, because sometimes um, someone that's sensitive can go into a place and it kind of brings the place to life. She said that she has orbs, ghost dogs that bark, a voice that says, I can see you, that knows her maiden name, her nickname, her maiden last name, um, making me think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I record them. Um, well, also, too, like what Linda's saying, you can kind of lay down the law. I did that in one place where I was living. I said, um, basically, that I knew people and we would have to work on driving them out if they scare us or do anything threatening to us. Otherwise, kind of made sort of a peace treaty. If you can stay here and don't scare anybody, don't, be violent, don't hurt anyone. If you can stay here peacefully, otherwise, I know people and I'll call them. And that helped quite a bit. The one older lady's spirit, she wasn't trying to hurt anybody anyway. It was the guy that came up from the basement. He was the bad one. The guy came up. I have to tell the story. Um, okay, when I first went there, this is one of the scariest things that ever happened to me. In spite of all the stories that I tell, something else might sound scarier, but this one, because right after I got there in the kitchen, the coffee pot was over here, and just across, the width of walking through was the basement door. And I was getting coffee, and the basement door handle was rattling, and the door was shaking, boom, 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 in the door frame. And the way the house had been added onto, there was no door to the outside in the basement. The door was not locked. And the windows, you could get through the windows in the basement, but not if you were any size of an adult. It was one of those older houses with their little basement windows.
Yeah.
Um, so the door was doing that. And I stood there for a few minutes, and then I banged on the door with my fist, and I said, you know, stop, you're not welcome here, because it was very scary. And it stopped. And then I was all happy with myself. Like Linda saying, take back your power, Michelle. I'm like, see, I said, stop. I said, you're not welcome here. And it stopped. And I felt all happy with myself. And then it did it some more, but like times three times as much jiggling and boom, boom, boom. And I thought, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to grab that doorknob and open the door. And then I thought, no. I mean, I don't know what would be scarier, if I could see something there or if I could see nothing there. Take your pick. So I decided to go sit on the porch for a while with my coffee. Anyway, we had some servicing done to the heat and air conditioner, and they found in the basement, in the crawl space, they found hoses and needles, and they brought up this bottle, a very old bottle, and the bottle said Frigid Fluid Company, Chicago, Illinois. And that is no longer in existence, but what that used to be was embalming fluid. So this was an old house.
Oh.
Apparently back in the day, they would, show the people in the home, very old house. So when that bottle came upstairs, the guy attached to the bottle came upstairs. And
Wow.
then it wasn't just the nice little old lady anymore, because um, my boyfriend at the time, he was carrying these glasses in his hand, and I bought them, and they were blown glass. They were thick and heavy, and they both just completely burst in his hand for no reason, and he had a real bad cut. So things turned a little malevolent, and you could hear it sounded like a guy walking through upstairs in the hallway with boots on, and the whole tone of the whole place changed after that bottle came up.
Wow. That's scary.
It was very scary. So, you want to hear the end of the story?
Yeah, please.
The end of the story was, because this is my kooky life, and welcome to it, all right? So, I had a good friend, and God rest her soul, she's passed away, but uh, she lived in LA, but she was from New Orleans, and she was both Native American mix and descended from Voodoo Queen. And she said to me, she said, take a picture of the house and send it to me. I'll help you. And I'm just quiet. And I'm like, you can do that? And she said, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I sent a picture of the house. I sent it to her because I'm just like, people can do such things. And she cleared the house. And after she cleared the house, she told me it was a guy. She told me it was an older lady, which we knew about the older lady because we saw her. but she was actually nice to us, but um, and a little boy, and she said, "Never speak about this in that house again. You can talk about it, but don't talk about it there. Never speak of it again." And
Wow.
so that's what we did. But the house was cleared, and nothing else happened.
Michelle, you don't have to air your dirty paranormal laundry on this show. If you want to send me a private message later, you can. I'd be interested to know why you think these entities or spirits or weirdness is happening in your home. I'd like to know if what you feel the cause might be for that. And there, like I said, there may not be, but it's been my experience that I want to say more times than not, uh, something's happened. In the home or around the home, or somebody in the home has done something to um, willingly, sometimes unwillingly or unknowingly, have done something to draw the attention
Oh,
of these things, and they don't even realize.
that's
Um,
why I asked a little bit ago if she considers herself a sensitive person, because if you are a sensitive person, and I think I have some of that, there's a tendency that you can go into a place and make it more active. It acts around you, thinking that you'll be able to see it, you'll be able to hear it. And so, you get stories where the previous owner didn't have any experiences or very little, but now it's ramped up because you're there. And she's also saying it's hard to move forward, still questioning myself and putting old beliefs behind. I'm not sure what you mean about that. I think that you should be okay. This is my advice. I'm not Father Shawn, he's the expert. But I helped people for years when I had my own show, and I got letters like, I was getting emails from this one guy, and I was falling asleep at night, and I heard a man's voice whisper in my ear, and I'm like, I am done with this. Done, 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 done. Because it just, you become like part of it in a way, like the books. They know that, this person is talking to me, but I had a man's voice whisper in my ear, and I could feel the breath. But here I'm going to say to you, for whatever it's worth, still questioning myself and putting old beliefs behind. Stop focusing on questioning yourself. Take the emotion out of it. Have a little journal. See what you can get as far as patterns. Sometimes there are patterns. And make your boundaries. Get your kit. Uh, put your blessed items up. Um, but don't let it make you question yourself. You know that you're experiencing things. She said that she had, gotten some evidence and recordings at her house. Okay, I asked many, did I manifest this stuff? Too much activity. It's like a portal here. Um, Most precious blood of Jesus Christ, save us in the whole world. If there's a portal here, please close it. I consecrate my home, and that's your home, even if you're renting, you pay for that space, to the Lord or to Blessed Virgin Mary. I consecrate this, my home. Ask for the portal to be closed. Precious blood prayer on it. Um, did you manifest this? If you did manifest it, you're sorry if you manifested it, and now you ask for it to be closed. Nothing's final. Portals, maybe. I don't know. Portals are doors. They open and they close. So whatever happened, if there's a guilt trip and a questioning behind it, that's not helping you. If it knows it's messing with you and getting you to doubt yourself, it likes that. So it just doesn't help to get caught into an emotional whirlwind about it. Or am I wrong?
oh no, you're absolutely right. And then people don't realize just the act, just acknowledge, playing into it, acknowledging it, and playing into it. Maybe conducting an EVP session or a seance in the home, or walking around trying to take photos and capture something. That's all energy that you're putting back into that. You need to just, uh, cut the umbilical cord. Just enough's enough. Do whatever it is you're going to do to try and get it to stop, and then don't address it any longer. And then just continue to do your daily, weekly, monthly routines and rituals to keep everything at bay,
And
or gone. I don't know if you're Catholic, Michelle, and you may already have this stuff. You need to, if you don't have a really nice wall crucifix, you need to buy a nice wall crucifix. And crucifix meaning the crucified corpus of Jesus is on the cross. A crucifix, a cross is just a cross, but you need to get a nice crucifix. Um, and you need to get that blessed and get that up on one of your walls in the home. And
and
if you don't know what a font is, FONT, look it up. And when you look it up, you go, oh, those are cool. And you're going to see 1,000 different kinds. Pick a nice font that you like, buy it and get it up on your wall too. And then go to your nearest Catholic church with an empty plastic bottle of water that used to be water that you drank, let's say. Now it's empty. Take it in there, dip that in their holy water basin and fill it up. Come back and keep your font. It's just a thing that hangs on the wall. Usually it's a religious item
right,
with
like
like a
you could dip your fingers in to
built
bless
in cup under it that holds your holy water. And you
yourself.
bless yourself when you leave your house, and you bless yourself when you come back in. So I'd get a wall crucifix and a font, get them blessed, get some
And
holy water.
you can ask the angels to help you and protect you, and ask the angels to help them move on, and tell them there are people on the other side, that they're your people, your family, they're waiting for you if it's a human spirit. Um,
Oh, we're in trouble now. Susan's
Susan's
there.
here. Hi, Susan. Hello,
Yeah.
Susan.
Uh-oh,
So
Susan's here. Hello,
that's kind of
Susan.
that's kind of a lot of advice that we had, but a combination of see what happens. See, depending on
Um,
what you've got going
she
on.
may not even know. Like, for instance, I get people that we don't know why they're having this activity, and then all of a sudden I go, I'll see this interesting item that is drawing me to it, and I'll go, "Where'd you get that?" Oh, that's an antique I bought at an estate sale, when I was out traveling somewhere. And I just felt the item drew me to it, and I felt so much funk, for lack of a better term, bad funk coming off of this item. I said, I think it's this. Once they bound that item and got it off the property, things got better. But I
Uh-huh.
know I haven't said anything to Sharon, and she's gonna watch this later and go, huh? But her mother recently passed, and may she rest in peace. I loved her; she was great. But she had two antique rocking chairs that she left Sharon. Now she had these in her family long before she was even born, and her mother lived to like 105, 106. So that's how old these two rocking chairs are. And when they were brought to Sharon and given to her from Arizona, and we put them in the house, I had a feeling things were going to change, and they did. And very often I'll be up late at night watching TV, and one of the chairs is right by the TV, and I'll see it start to rock, and Sharon will be sound asleep, and she starts having a conversation, and it totally sounds like a daughter conversation between a daughter and a mother. And then that right there, the door is open, and so I don't want to chase her mother off, but the door is open there when that communication starts happening, because right after that happens, Sharon will have a really bad night terror, and she hasn't had night terrors in a while. Um, I'll have to either shake her awake and say, "Go back to sleep. You're having a bad dream," or I'll yell at her, or I'll just let it ride out and see if it doesn't get too bad. She'll get through it and go back to sleep. But the activity is picked up because of that spiritual connection there. So now I have the dilemma of, I don't want to drive out something that is probably here with good intention. Um, but it is what it is, and we've got about, well, time flies with you and I when we do
It's
this
the
show.
fastest hour of the week. I'm going to put on Facebook and give to you if it helps anyone I'm offering. I'm not promising that it will help, but um, my Archangel Raphael prayer at night for healing and protection. And I say, Archangel Raphael, please let me rest in a bubble of your healing and protection. And I believe that that can help with nightmares, night terrors, also the Archangel Michael prayer. I believe that you can do something to stop that. The reason I bring it up, I don't really understand how something bad would come from the rocking chair. That should be like a soothing
Well,
reminder that I'm
yeah,
still.
I already live in a haunted house, real quick
Um,
here. So what I think is her mother being attached to that and using that as the connection to be able to come and talk with Sharon when Sharon's dreaming or in a
yeah.
dream state. That activity right there stirs up whatever else is floating around here that
Oh,
I
okay.
already have kind
Yeah,
of chilling at bay. But
yeah, yeah. I see what
is
you.
there anything you really want anybody else to know or any announcements you want to make before I kick you out of here?
I think you can kick me out of here.
I hate to kick you out of here. Wow, that was a
It
fast
was a great,
round.
fun, fast show, and thanks to everybody that was listening. I wish everybody a great evening, a great weekend,
Well, let me
and
at
really
least tell you
nice
who our
that
next
Steve
guest is.
came. Okay,
You're
who's
gonna
that?
love next week's guest. Friday, April 11th. He's a fan favorite, and Rick Garner
Oh, yes, Rick
of
is fun.
Unexplained Cases will be here, and we're
Nice,
going to find out about his what he's. Everybody knows he's battling cancer, but he's coming through that like a champ. So we'll
awesome.
catch up with him on that and catch up on Unexplained Cases. I love you. Have a great weekend. Give your whole family a big hug for me. You're on the prayer list. You know that. I'll
Thank you.
see you. I'll see you next week on the 11th.
I will see everybody next week on the 11th. Thank you. Have a great night, weekend, week.
Bye bye. Annette Munich. Um, guys, what do I want to say to each and every one of you? Michelle, reach out to me afterwards in a private message if you'd like to continue this. Thanks for popping in, Susan. I hope you're doing well. Give me the update on this buy me a coffee thing that I'm going to go into. Before I get cut off here, stay tuned for Spirit Switchboard with Carrie Lynn Shellhorn coming up next. That's a great show. God bless you all for tuning in because I don't have a show without you guys, and I mean that. And yes, I'm that guy on Eli Roth Presents the Legion of Exorcist on Travel Channel, streaming everywhere. You can catch it on any streaming service if you still want to watch that show. So listen, we may have done what the devil said we did, but we are not who the devil says we are. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Peace.